A little bit about Ireland. What are the Ireland people like?
Irish people are great. They were a lot of fun. They were very kind and polite, and just really, Ireland loves the United States. So if you're from the United States, they just love you.
Who's the capital there?
The capital of Ireland, I believe, is Dublin. Now you have Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland. They're almost two different distinct places within the whole country of Ireland. So we went to Northern Ireland for one day, and then the rest of the time we were in Southern Ireland, Western Ireland.
Irish dish.
Well, every morning we had what was called the typical Irish breakfast. It had black pudding and white pudding. It had a tomato. It had some sort of egg. What they called bacon, which was more like ham.
What is your favorite dish in Ireland?
Favorite dish in Ireland? I mean, they had good fish. So I'd have like fish and chips.
What's your favorite dessert in Ireland?
My favorite dessert in Ireland? They weren't really into desserts. You know, they would have cakes and pies and stuff like that, but there wasn't anything that I remember.
What types of faith do most people in Ireland practice?
It depends on where you go, but it's between Catholic and Protestant. But most of them, aren't necessarily practicing any faith right now.
Can you tell me about music or dance they have?
The music was awesome. The dances were awesome. Every night, Mason and I went out to a different pub, and we'd have a beer, and we'd listen to live music. And a lot of the music they played was American music, but they also played traditional Irish melodies.
What is the most common dance or music they have?
Right now it's like pop music, but they had traditional with the jigs, the Irish jigs, and dances like that.
What is that?
A jig is a kind of dance you do with a bunch of other people, and it's almost like a line dance kind of thing, but they're not in a line. They just kind of dance around.
That's cool.
And river dance.
Italy is a boot, and it's right this green thing right there.
So you're saying that that's Italy?
The boot. A bit about Vatican City.
Vatican City is a nice little place in the middle of Italy, in the middle of Rome, and it has many, churches, beautiful art. You go to the Sistine Chapel, you go to the Scavi tour, and you can see ancient, graffiti and tombs and everything else. So it's just a wonderful old place to visit.
What is the common Italian dish?
Usually just about every day for lunch, I think it was for €3 or €4, I could have fettuccine with clams, a salad, a pint of wine, a baguette of bread, and it was a huge meal, very cheap. So a lot of the Italians will eat their large meal, they call pranzo, it's in the afternoon, and then they'll eat a small breakfast and a small dinner.
What is the common Italian dessert?
You could have tiramisu, which is very good. You could have creme brulee, custard, but many of them after a dinner would have cheese and fruits. They wouldn't have a lot of really sweet things. And then of course they have the coffee, the espresso or the cappuccino.
What types of faith do most people have in Italian practice?
I don't know that they practice their faith, but most are Catholics, just by nature.
What are the most musical instruments used in Italy?
They use many of the musical instruments we do. One you probably hear more than others is the accordion, in typical old Italian folk music. But for the most part, they have many of the instruments we do. Mm-hmm. They also have, they created the opera.
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's a hooray. When
about Italy is you have a large country that if you're in northern Italy and you're speaking to someone in Sicily or southern Italy, they have such different dialects. They're still speaking Italian, but they're speaking a different type of Italian that it's sometimes hard to understand.
What can you tell me about where it's located?
Located in Central Europe. Get around the whole area within a day easily. The whole area of the Vatican, there are churches on every corner. It has some of the most beautiful art. If you go to the, Lateran Church, or you go to the Sistine Chapel or the Vatican, there's so many beautiful places to see.
Tell me a bit about what are Italians like.
Very friendly people everywhere I went, and they want you to speak English. They don't want you to speak Italian. Like most of them know English, so they were very good about it.
There's one more question that we have for you today.
Yes.
Was spaghetti made in Italy?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for talking. And what's your name?
My name is Uncle Mike.
Cool.